Okay, and so hey YouTube, it's Darkbyte here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys inheritance. So you guys have been following my tutorials, you guys will have realized that I've changed the name of not main to other main. Alright, so there's a reason for this, and I'll show you guys the reason in a second. But what we're going to do now is we're going to quickly make this extends main. So what does this mean? Alright, so this means that if we create a method in here, listen to song, and then we go string song, and then we decide to put in something like sysout song. So we're just gonna print out the name of the song that they put in, and now we create a instance of other main. om is equal to new other main. Now here we go, om dot, and as you can see, it's got a listen to song method, even though we haven't put any method in here. Now why is this? This is because the main method, it's going to copy all of the stuff from the main method. So it's basically a carbon copy, and if we want to, we can change up the methods. So say we want to change an exact method, so say we just want to change one method, and say we've got to type in that method exactly. So including all the parameters, and as you can see, this little thing comes up in Eclipse, and it says it overrides it. So say we can put in other main says, and then just go, and then we're going to put in song. So here we go. Then in here we're also going to we're just going to put in some parameters. So we're going to go Bob, and then we're going to call this. So the this keyword, so we're going to access the this class and just go this dot listen to song, and then oops. So we're just going to go new main dot listen to song. So we're just going to create a new main instance, and we're just going to listen to the song from there. So we're just going to call this lol. I'm going to call this song lol bob, because you know we're just going to see this. Alright, so other main says bob, and this one just says lol bob like we put in here, but in the other one it's overriding. So what happens if we take this out again? It'll run like normal and just print out bob and lol bob. Alright, so yeah. So basically we just learned today that if we inherit a class using extends, then we're basically just copying the methods and creating a carbon copy. Now we're going to look at inheritance in a different way. Now we're going to look at how it can be used. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to leave this cars class. We're going to delete cats and other mains since we're not going to use them for now. What we're going to do is we're going to create a vehicle class. A vehicle. How do you spell vehicle? I can't spell, so this is probably going to be really wrong. You know what, I'm going to search up how to spell vehicle. Alright, so I found out it's spelled neither of those ways, and it's spelled vehicle for some reason. Alright, so that looks a lot more natural for me for some reason. Alright, so I don't know why I didn't know how to spell it. Guess I'm just a retard. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we're going to make this, and what we're going to do is we're going to go public void drive. So this is kind of like what we did with the car. So let's open up car now, actually. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to just copy all this car stuff. And, well, you know what? We're just going to public car. And we're just going to change this to vehicle now. So we're just going to change all of this stuff to vehicle. So where it says car, we're going to go vehicle instead. Vehicle for some reason. Because, you know, they want to call it vehicle. So here we go. Alright, so here we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change this to vehicle. Because I'm just going to call it vehicle forever now, because it's just going to help me learn the spelling. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to leave this rev engine out, because we don't know whether it'll have an engine. So we're going to edit this a bit, so we did make this a bit neater just for the sake of it. Alright, so the car is stopping, and we're just going to change this to vehicle again. So I'm just going to learn the spelling by repeating vehicle. Alright, so the vehicle, so I think I've learned the spelling now. So here we go. Vehicle, 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 vehicle. Alright, so we can get accelerating as well. So we're going to make a public boolean get accelerating, just in case they want to get that ever. So here we go. I'm going to go return return is accelerating, if I can spell that. Can't spell that either, apparently. Or type it, at least. So it is accelerating. So there we go. Yeah. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to make car. And we're just going to delete all of this. And what we're going to do is we're going to extend vehicle. Because a car is a vehicle. So here we go. Car. So now we have to add a constructor. So we have to add a constructor for car now. The exact same constructor. And we have to put this super thing in. So telling the, what's it called, that basically it's a vehicle as well, the super class. So this is called the super class, and this is a derivatory class. Now there's some sort of weird ass relationship name. I'm not going to tell you now because I'm not going to confuse you. I'll tell you in a bit. So here we go. What we're going to do now is we're going to override some of these things. So let's open up the vehicle class again, and what we're going to do is we're going to go public void, and we're going to add a new method. So despite the fact that it's a carbon copy, we can add our own methods in. So here we go, and we're going to go sysout the, and then plus name dot, and then plus, sorry, revved its engine. So as you can see, we're getting an error here. So this, why are we getting an error? So when we create a superclass, when we create variables in a superclass, what we're meant to do is we're meant to change stuff like this into protected. So the getters and setters. So here we go. We're just going to change all of these to protected so that they can only be accessed by the by the superclass. So in here, what we're going to do is we can only access these methods and stuff inside of inside the derivatory classes, inside the parent class and the child class. So I'm coming out with loads of random words here, and I'm confusing myself a bit. So I'm just going to take a deep breath and okay. So this vehicle class is called the parent class, and all of its kind of classes that extend it are called child classes. Now, basically, the parent-child thing is, so when you've got parents, you've got these genes, and these genes are basically going to be represented by these methods. So these methods are its genes, and it's going to pass down all of it because it's going to clone it. But with this cloning process, it's going to mutate a bit. It can mutate if it wants to by adding extra classes. The programmer can mutate it, I guess, by adding extra classes in. So here we go. We're just going to change this. So what this protected thing is protected means that it can't be accessed from anywhere but inside the child classes. So inside these protected things, that means that it's protecting them, and it's basically set up a rule that you can't access these variables and these methods from anywhere except for one of these. Alright, so here we go. We're going to change this to protected void, and then protected void, accelerate. So here we go. We're going to change this, instead of private, we're going to change it to get name. So this will return the name that we put in here. So it's obviously still private, but here we go. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our main class, and we're going to create a new car. Car is equal to new car, and we're just going to set some basic boring values. 100 miles per hour, it's going to be a slow car. It's going to weigh 1,000 kilos, and it's going to be called car, because I'm really confusing myself a bit, and I just want to get this done with. So I'm going to call car dot get accelerating. So what's this going to do? Right, so it's going to return false because it's not accelerating. But what are we going to do now? Because how are we going to set whether it's accelerating? Well, we can call the car.accelerating method. So car.accelerate, so we're going to call car.accelerate, and even though the value is private inside vehicle, it's still going to go true. The car is accelerating at 100 kilometers an hour, even though all we did was set it in here, and we can't actually access the speed variable because it's private, and we haven't got a speed variable in here. So as you can see, this is basically just saving us some time by creating a superclass. Say we're making a game, we could do that for weapons, an item, and a weapon will be an item. Will also be an item. You can't extend more than one thing at a time, by the way. Ooh, what am I doing? Looking at Skype. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so you can't extend more than one thing at once. So if we wanted car to extend vehicle, and we also want it to extend automobile, then that's an error. Alright, so you can't extend more than one thing, but you can implement more than one thing. We'll look at implement later on, because implement requires us to know about interfaces, which we haven't done yet. But next time we're going to be looking more at inheritance, but we're going to be looking at something called abstract classes. I hope I explained this properly. I don't think I did really, to be honest, but it doesn't matter. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to leave it at this, and I will see you guys next time in the next tutorial. So, bye guys. I hope I explained this properly. I really hope I do, because I feel like I've done it really terribly. So, I will see you guys next time in the next tutorial. Again, I'm sorry if I didn't explain it properly. Inheritance is one thing that really does my head in, but it's got to be taught. So, you know what? I'll see you guys next time in the next tutorial. Bye guys.